It was our first night out together in ages. Carly really hadn't wanted to come. She was so self-conscious about all the weight she'd put on and really didn't want to go out in public. But I'd convinced her it would help to take her mind off things. I thought that it'd be good for her to get out the house for a couple of hours. I couldn't have been more wrong. The comedian had spotted Carly on the way back from the restroom, and he decided that she was going to be the butt of his jokes that night.
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, make way for Shamu. This lady's so fat I bet her blood type is Raikou. I really shouldn't make fun of her. She probably has enough on her plate already. Sorry, lady, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe next time you should buy 2 seats.
As Carly made her way back to the seat, every eye in the room was locked on her. She was pretending to laugh it off, but her face was bright red and she really couldn't hide the pain and shame she was feeling. I could see tears starting to well up in her eyes, and just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, what happened next is extremely shocking and embarrassing for me to share, but I believe that God has given me the strength to reveal it, as it led me to discover an incredible weight loss shortcut so confidential and secretive that it's being deliberately kept from you. A hack so powerful that without a single diet or exercise routine, it allowed my wife Carly, a 43-year-old mom of 3, to melt away 67 pounds of unsightly stubborn fat from her face, belly, arms, hips, and thighs in a matter of weeks, transforming her from looking like this to this. Ridding her of the anxiety, depression, and insecurity that had ruined her mental health for so long, and helped to restore the toned, sexy body she had in her 20s. Even her skin looks different. It has a new, youthful glow about it and looks much tighter and smoother, leaving her doctors speechless, and every overweight man and woman desperate to know her secret. And it's not just Carly. This crazy weight loss shortcut has helped transform the lives of tens of thousands of men and women around the world, including me. I woke up 4 pounds lighter after the very first day. And over the weeks that followed, I lost another 37 pounds of ugly fat from my belly, face, arms, and back, revealing my toned abs for the first time in 20 years, while still eating all my favorite foods, things like brownies, ice cream, pizza, spaghetti, and donuts. In fact, it's recommended not to cut out any of the foods you love. But I get if you're a little skeptical. I completely understand. Because as unbelievable as this sounds, it's entirely possible with this safe and simple shortcut you can use right now in the comfort of your own home. And don't worry, it's got nothing to do with slaving away countless hours at the gym, doing those workouts you hate, intermittent fasting, depriving yourself of carbs and sugar, or any other of the latest dieting fads. It flies in the face of everything we thought we knew about weight loss. You see, despite what we've been led to believe, the real root cause of your stubborn belly fat is not your fault. And in the next 3 minutes and 17 seconds, you'll discover why everything you thought you knew about weight and fat loss is one big lie. You'll be shocked and angry when you hear from a whistleblower who breaks his code of silence and reveals the real root cause of your slow metabolism and accelerated aging. A little-known foreign compound that wreaks havoc with your body. So much so that top scientists from places like Harvard and Yale discovered it in almost every single overweight person on Earth. Plus, the older you get, the more of it you will have floating in your bloodstream. And it's the reason that keeping the pounds off long-term is almost impossible, even with grueling diet and rigorous exercise. And why some people aren't affected by it, while the rest of us just pile on the pounds. Fear not though, because using a simple but very powerful secret, discovered on a remote tropical island over 12,000 miles away, you can, within a few short weeks, cause your fat cells to shrink by up to 900% or more. This loophole, passed down from generation to generation by the elders of the island, effortlessly melts away inches from even the most stubborn areas, leaving you not only with a firm, smooth, and toned body, but more importantly, supporting a healthy heart, brain, joints, blood pressure, and sugar levels, helping to save the lives of people like me, my wife, and so far 57,312 others as well. Moms, dads, grandparents, brothers, sisters, cousins, and friends, from those who had only 5 pounds to lose, all the way up to those who were more than 300 pounds overweight, and whose diet and exercise plans had all failed them.
Within a month, I'd lost more weight than with any other diet program I'd been on before. And after 3 months, I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror.
If you'd have told me how much could change in only 5 short months,
I never would have believed you.
My friends and family can't believe how much I've changed, both physically and emotionally. They all want to know my secret.
Overnight, I was down 2 pounds, and after about a month, I'd lost a whole 23 pounds without even changing hardly anything in my daily routine.
I've gone from a size 18 to a size 12 pretty much overnight. It's the best thing I've ever done for my health and self-esteem. My family is just in awe of the dramatic change. I don't remember the last time I felt this great inside and out.
My life now is wonderful. My joint pain is gone and I can finally walk up a flight of stairs without getting out of breath. It has been amazing. And I must admit, I do love all the compliments too. What more could somebody ask for?
Wow, the results are incredible. It's like nothing I've experienced before.
This has been life-changing for me. After losing the weight, my energy had shot up. I feel super positive and happy when I wake up and get out of bed in the morning now, literally for the first time in years.
That's so great to hear. I receive hundreds of success stories like these from countless others who have experienced similar life-changing results with this powerful and simple shortcut. And I promise that you too will be able to easily melt away those extra pounds. Imagine no longer having to worry about what your partner really thinks when they see you naked, but are too polite to tell you. And the anxiety you feel when people watch you eating. Instead, you'll be able to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, without guilt or shame. Your body starts to melt away the deadly visceral fat around your organs. Old baggy clothes you wore to hide your body are replaced with slim, figure-hugging, sexy ones you could never have dreamed of. Your energy, vitality, and enthusiasm return to you in abundance, and you start to look younger as the glow and elasticity of youth returns to your skin and body, leaving you happier, healthier, and feeling sexier than you have in years, even decades. And because this all-natural hack combats the real root cause of your stubborn belly fat, once it's gone, it stays off forever. So no more worrying about your weight yo-yoing up and down anymore, or which pants will fit you in a month or a year from now. And I guarantee you have never heard about this solution before, because it has been purposely hidden from you. The multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry, yes, that's billion with a B, will never tell you that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn belly fat and curb hunger. You see, the whole industry is a giant fraud. Its only purpose is to separate you from your hard-earned money. They don't care that their products don't work. In fact, they don't want them to, because that way they can keep selling to you, all designed to part you from your hard-earned money, but never help you lose weight and keep it off, only bandaging over the symptoms, but not offering a solution for the real root cause, keeping you a customer for life. Their business model is going to be destroyed when the world finds out that you can break free and lose weight naturally without their useless diets, pills, and exercises. The last thing they want is for you to discover the secret I'm about to reveal, information that may very well save your life or that of someone you love. But time is ticking. I don't know how much longer we have, so please stop everything you are doing right now and watch this video until the very end, because you're going to be shocked when you discover the identity of this terrible fat-causing compound and learn about the science-backed studies that prove that this is actually the real root cause of that awful belly fat. It has nothing to do with your genetics, gender, what you eat or when you eat it, or anything else that we've been told for so long. It's the real reason that some people manage to stay so slim no matter what they eat, while you have to starve yourself, spending hours on the treadmill and still can't keep that excess weight off. You're going to be amazed when you discover the exact step-by-step breakdown of this easy shortcut, and you're going to be able to start right away to quickly shrink your fat cells forever. Now is the time to cut loose from those chains of being overweight once and for all. But first, let me properly introduce myself. My name's Ken Thomas. I'm not a doctor, nutritionist, or social media influencer. Instead, I'm a 44-year-old firefighter, father of 3 wonderful kids, and I live with my amazing wife Carly in Columbus, Ohio. In 2013, I was part of a team called to a small blaze, which quickly turned into a very dangerous and frightening full-on bushfire that left many of my colleagues badly injured, some critically. I tell you this because I know what it's like to lose control. Just like a small fire can turn into a deadly situation in the blink of an eye, your body can turn against you and start threatening your health and happiness. And that's what happened to my wife, Carly. It all started around 25 years ago. We were high school sweethearts and both skinny as a rake. Like most teenagers, we took our health for granted, enjoying life and everything that came with it. Sure, we were young, but we knew we wanted to spend the rest of our lives together. So, at just 22, we decided to marry, and shortly after, Carly fell pregnant. Life was perfect. During her pregnancy, she put on around 40 pounds, which never went away. Then she fell pregnant with our second, Millie, and on went another 20 pounds. And after our third, she was suddenly 90 pounds heavier. She had become obese with a BMI of over 36. Our family doctor confirmed what we already suspected. Carly had to lose weight or possibly suffer serious health complications, or worse. And of course, he recommended the standard procedure straight from the textbook, a calorie-controlled diet and exercise plan. And so, the roller coaster of emotions began. Because with every success Carly had, she would inevitably put all the weight back on shortly after, plus a little bit more. I mean, she tried everything. Keto, paleo, Atkins, vegetarian, vegan, juicing, fasting, hypnosis, yoga, Zumba, and even acupuncture. You name it, she's tried it. Sure, some of them worked for a bit, but the problem was that, like so many others, Carly couldn't stick to any of them, even though her life was on the line. And with every failure, she turned to comfort foods, Ben & Jerry's, chocolate, pizza, and the vicious cycle continued. The years went by, but nothing changed. Instead of losing weight, she was now over 100 pounds heavier and in chronic pain all the time. She got dressed in private, tried to hide her figure with huge tent-like shawls, and avoided mirrors like the plague. Her self-esteem had collapsed, and our relationship was suffering badly. We rarely saw friends anymore, and never ate out for fear of judgment. She'd constantly be saying things like, "Why can't I be skinny and toned like all the other women that eat whatever they want?" And, "You never look at me the way you used to." And although I'd keep telling her she's wrong, I knew deep down that she wasn't. She could see it in my eyes. I'd tried to put my arms around her to comfort her, but she just pushed me away. She'd say things like, "Don't touch me. I'm fat and disgusting, and I'm always going to be fat and disgusting. Get away from me. And I don't want to live like this anymore." I just felt totally powerless because I didn't know what I could do to help. So you see, I know what you're going through, because I saw Carly live with this awful pain for so long. But just when I thought things couldn't get worse, one day, my worst fears were realized. I was in the kitchen making some food when I heard a loud thudding noise. "Carly, is everything okay?" I shouted. But there was no reply. I ran to the living room, and that's when I saw her. Her lifeless body slumped in a heap on the floor. My training kicked in, and I gave her CPR. When she eventually opened her eyes, a wave of relief washed over me. I called an ambulance and rushed her to the hospital. I found out later from the doctor that she was lucky to still be alive. Her body just couldn't handle carrying around all that excess weight, and her heart just gave up. Apparently, people who are seriously overweight are 85% more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke compared to others who have a healthy BMI. Scary stuff, isn't it? That night, as I sat beside her hospital bed staring at the walls, I felt helpless. I was angry and ashamed, angry at the weight loss gurus that had promised the earth and delivered nothing, but instead just drained our bank account, and ashamed that I hadn't been able to do more to help. I imagined life without my Carly, and the devastation it would cause our family, our kids. It was at that very moment I vowed I'd do whatever it takes. I was determined to find a way to help her get healthy again. And that night I prayed harder than I had ever done before in my life. What happened next was the most bizarre, eye-opening thing I've ever experienced. Yet it set me on the path to discovering the incredible secret that changed our lives forever. It was while trawling for information through obscure scientific research forums online that I stumbled upon something that stopped me in my tracks. It was an article written by a Dr. Michael Yang, a Chinese ex-government research scientist turned whistleblower. He claimed to have uncovered the real truth behind the cause of our modern obesity crisis and why so many people are dangerously overweight nowadays. His research was so shocking and controversial that when he tried to get it published, he was pulled in by the Chinese secret police and interrogated for 3 days straight. After making him destroy all the documents, he was told never to talk of it again. He decided the only way to protect his family was to pack up everything right away and escape to the West where he would be safer. From everything I could find out about him, he seemed extremely credible. Apparently, he has a large underground following and is very well respected in the scientific community. I had to speak to him, and after weeks of calls, emails, and research, I managed to track him down, and he agreed to do a Zoom call. Surprisingly, he was very willing to talk to me. He sounded extremely intelligent and spoke perfect English. He asked me about myself and why I was so desperate to speak to him. I told him about Carly's health problems and what the doctors had said. She's tried everything to keep the weight off, but nothing seems to work. My eyes filled with tears, and then I broke down. I'm so scared we're going to lose her. I'm not sure if I could go on. Please, Dr. Yang, tell me what you discovered. Dr. Yang's face felt totally serious. He seemed hesitant at first, but he could see I was in so much pain and that I'd pretty much given up all hope. He took a deep breath and told me something that chilled me to the bone. A shocking secret that he'd been forced to keep quiet about for years. What you have to understand is that it's not Carly's fault, he said. You know those massive corporations? The ones who sell you those healthy shakes, meals, diets, and exercise plans? They know full well that they can't work over the long term. All of the countless medical studies make this abundantly clear to anyone who has bothered to look. And I assure you, they have looked. You see, the whole industry is one giant fraud. Its only purpose is to separate you from your hard-earned money. They don't care that their solutions don't work. In fact, they don't want them to work, because that way they can keep selling you their stuff. I mean, you might lose some weight for a short time, but soon after you'll pile it all back on again, plus a bit more. A recent study from a top college in Northern Australia followed 17,000 people using popular diets such as keto, Weight Watchers, and Atkins. And after 6 months, only a tiny fraction had lost any weight at all. And a massive 67% of them were actually heavier than when they started. Worse still, dieting can actually be dangerous, including long-lasting negative impacts on metabolism, thinning hair, and osteoporosis. In fact, a recent study showed that after a particular grueling diet, your metabolism could actually be permanently damaged, meaning that you would have to start to eat even less to maintain the same weight as before the dieting. And how often do you hear that to lose the fat, you must grind away hour upon hour of tedious exercise? The thinking goes that exercise helps you burn calories, so helps you lose weight. While this may sound like logical sense, it simply isn't true. A study published in the American Journal of Medicine that reviewed and analyzed 14 randomized controlled trials of over 1,800 people concluded that isolated aerobic exercise is not an effective weight loss therapy in obese or overweight patients. This is thought to be due to people tending to vastly overestimate how much fat they actually burn. So they end up overcompensating by overeating. Excessive exercise also causes an increase in cortisol, also known as the stress hormone, which has been shown to encourage fat storage, particularly around the belly and face. So in other words, all those hours of grinding away hour upon boring hour on the exercise cycle can be for nothing, even though that's exactly what most trainers and weight loss companies recommend. The average person spends over $120,000 during their lifetime trying to lose weight, and almost half of all Americans are considered obese. It's a multi-billion-dollar business that they will do anything to protect. I feel sick just imagining the multi-millionaire CEOs of those companies enjoying their riches at the expense of hardworking normal people like you and Carly. Because, although it's hard to believe, you've been purposely lied to. Because none of these common sense solutions have any real influence on the long-term number on your scale. They don't address the real root cause. What is the real cause? I asked. He thought for a moment and then grabbed a bottled water that was on the desk beside him. This is, he said as he pointed to the bottle. Huh? Water? I asked. Yes and no. You see, what you think is a bottle of fresh, clean water is actually teeming with little toxic particles. And these are what's making us fat. Serious? I said with a chuckle. Deadly, he answered, without a hint of sarcasm. You see, this water contains millions of microscopic pieces of plastic. And this plastic is made up of chemicals that can actually cause you to store fat. Plastic? I asked. How do you know there's plastic in it? It's in practically all drinking water on the planet. You see, when plastic is disposed of, it can't biodegrade. But what happens is that over time it starts to break down into smaller and smaller pieces, eventually becoming what is known as microplastics. These particles of plastic are so tiny that you can't even spot them with the naked eye. But they are now everywhere. In our rivers, our seas, our fish, even the very air you breathe. They have even been found in rain. And filtration systems can't remove them because they're too small. So they end up in our drinking water. And here is something that will shock you. The average person unknowingly eats, swallows, and breathes in thousands of tiny pieces of plastic each week, an amount that equals the weight of a credit card. Every week. Researchers from Arizona State University, who tested random samples obtained from a specialized human tissue bank, found plastic contamination in practically every single organ tissue sample. Now, stay with me here for a minute because this is where it gets very interesting. Plastic is found all over the world in millions of different products, and scientists are only just now beginning to understand how harmful it can be. You see, it is made up of many different chemicals, some of which are obesogens. Obesogens are chemicals that are endocrine or hormonal disruptors. In other words, they wreak havoc on your hormone health. That includes those hormones that control hunger and how many calories you consume get burned right away and how many are stored as fat. And similar chemicals can be found everywhere nowadays. In car exhaust fumes, pesticides, non-stick coating on the pots and pans we cook with, and even in the very food we eat. That's why it's almost impossible to avoid exposure. And a shocking 2015 Canadian study found that when normal stem cells are exposed to obesogens, they actually mutate into fat cells. Another study in Japan confirmed this by showing cells which would normally become connective tissue became fat cells when obesogens were added. Dr. Yang held up his phone to show me a video. This is what happens when regular stem cells are exposed to obesogens. They turn into fat cells and expand instantly. Shocking, right? And that's what obesogens that are found in plastics and all around us are doing to your body all day long. That's why it's so hard to lose weight no matter what you try. And it's the reason that keeping the pounds off long term is almost impossible. Now, there are many types of obesogens, of which bisphenol A, or BPA, is one of the most widely known. It can be found in thousands of different types of products, from kids' toys, clothing, cosmetics like body wash, shampoo, and toothpaste, all the way up to food packaging, canned goods, and even baby bottles. A team from the Department of Neuroscience in Ontario found that when they fed mice low doses of BPA, far lower than the amounts considered to be safe by the FDA, their hormones started freaking out and they quickly ballooned in size. Some countries have even taken the step of banning BPA in anything that comes in contact with food. But the chemicals they have replaced it with are arguably worse. And countless studies have directly linked these obesogenic chemicals to excessive ghrelin, leptin, hunger, and obesity, regardless of age, diet, metabolism, or even activity level. So, your hunger pangs and weight gain has been scientifically proven to be unstoppable because of these man-made chemicals that are floating throughout your body, wreaking havoc with your hormones and causing normal cells to turn into expanded fat cells. How come everyone isn't getting fat the same way from these obesogens, I asked. He explained that our bodies all react slightly differently to different hormones, with some lucky people who are just genetically predisposed to not suffer the same imbalance as the rest of us. But they are the exception, and definitely not in the majority. Just consider the following, he said. He held up an open book to the camera showing a graph. This graph shows the rise in obesity rates over the years. Like I said, obesity was pretty much non-existent before the 1950s. But fast forward to today, 72% of us are seriously overweight. Now, look at this. The blue line shows the rise in synthetic chemical production over the years, and the red one, the rates of diabetes. Notice how they match almost exactly. But what I was told next by Dr. Yang was even more shocking. He had taken all his data that proved conclusively that it was chemical obesogens that were to blame for this massive crisis and showed it to the head of his department. The very next day, he was hauled in by the Chinese secret police and interrogated for 3 days straight. And when he was eventually released, he was ordered to destroy all his research and never speak of it again. They told him that if any of the findings were leaked, there would be serious consequences for him and his family. He was absolutely terrified and decided that there was no other choice but to flee that very day and go into hiding. I asked him why they were so desperate to bury his research. He went on to explain that China is the largest producer of chemicals and plastics in the world by a very large margin. So, the Chinese government were terrified of a global backlash if the effects were exposed, because it could destroy their economy. So instead of risking that, they decided to bury it. It finally all made perfect sense. The out-of-control obesity crisis really wasn't being caused by the junk food and lazy lifestyles like we are constantly being told. It was actually toxins in things like microplastics and modern-day pollution that were causing us to have major hormone imbalances. making it virtually impossible for us to lose the weight and keep it off, no matter what we do, and no matter how hard we try. Exactly what was happening with Carly. There has been a bit of exposure in the media, Dr. Yang continued. But the big corporations do their utmost to bury and censor it for their own selfish reasons. So, people really have no idea how bad this crisis really is. I slumped in my chair. So there really is nothing that can be done about it? Dr. Yang paused for a second. Look, you seem like a good man, and I can see you are really hurting. So I'm going to let you in on a secret. He pulled out a pen and started writing something on a notepad in front of him. This is the answer to your problems, he said with a wink. He held up the pad to the camera so I could see what he wrote, and he told me to take a screenshot of it. You see, while I was carrying out my research, I stumbled across details of a small tropical island off the coast of Taiwan, whose people didn't seem to be affected by obesogens like everyone else. They were among the slimmest, fittest, and healthiest people I'd ever come across, even though the pollution levels in the seas around them were extremely high. When we studied them to find out what their secret could be, it seemed to lay in their diet. Although they ate a diet of mainly fish, they always added a traditional mix of local herbs and spices to their foods, a recipe passed down through generations of the islanders. And this was somehow detoxifying and protecting them from the effects of man-made chemicals. This is a detailed list of all the herbs and spices the mix contains. If you search online, you should be able to source them. But I warn you, it's unlikely you'll find them locally. So they won't be cheap. Just mix the quantities I gave you and have your wife take a pinch of it every evening before bed with some water. You're going to be amazed at the results. Now, I have to go. I need to be careful not to be online for too long or they might track me down. I thanked him, and the second he logged out, I started researching his recipe. I was very surprised at what I found. First, there was Gymnema sylvestre, a miraculous woody climbing shrub that's native to the tropical forests. It has been used by medicine men for thousands of years because of its amazing antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. But most importantly, a 2014 study published by the Global Health Committee assessed the effectiveness of Gymnema sylvestre in detoxifying the body of foreign toxins. Why is this important, you might ask? Well, remember those foreign microplastic particles that release obesogens causing massive weight gain? Scientists in Norway discovered that large spikes of obesogens are excreted with every one of these foreign microplastic particle invasions. And remember, microplastic is now in literally everything. Scientists have since seen microplastics everywhere they have looked. In deep oceans, in Arctic snow and Antarctic ice, in shellfish, table salt, drinking water, and beer. Even drifting in the air or falling with rain over mountains and cities. It's almost certain that there is a high level of exposure in just about all species of animal. So how do obesogens affect us, and what exactly do they have to do with weight loss? I had no idea until I dug a little deeper and I realized what Dr. Yang had told me made perfect sense. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Medicine of 38,000 overweight men and women aged 30 to 60 found one common factor that made it almost impossible to lose fat: high obesogen levels. All those with lower obesogen levels could eat the same amount per day as the ones with high levels and stay stick thin. They also had a healthier heart, liver, brain, and consistent energy levels. Many doctors actually call it the fat storage chemical. And after more reading, I could see why. Another study published in The Lancet tested increased obesogen levels in mice. Both groups were fed exactly the same diet, and in just 2 weeks, the high obesogen level mice had put on 30% in weight, while the low obesogen group actually lost weight. Lowering obesogen levels in the body is actually an immediate fat shrinker, making it run like a tuned Ferrari, burning away fat stores and converting it into natural energy. And even though obesogens are tiny chemicals, their effects on the body can be devastating. Even a small increase in obesogen levels can put you into a state of huge weight gain in a very short period. Likewise, removing them from your body can quickly reverse the process in no time at all, burning calories faster than you can eat them and dropping that ugly belly fat week after week, with no rebounding or side effects until you reach your ideal weight. 96% of adults have now been exposed to chronic levels of microplastics, causing elevated levels of obesogens in their body. And the older you are, the higher they get, and the heavier you become. But not everyone has high levels of obesogens. A study by the Journal of Medicine found that certain islands and tribes seemed immune to weight gain, even while maintaining a high-carb, high-sugar diet. The conclusion? They had somehow managed to keep their obesogen levels down. You see, your high obesogen levels are the real root cause of your unexplained weight gain, accelerated aging, fatigue, and health problems. But don't start booking a trip to the tropical islands for some Gymnema sylvestre just yet, because next on Dr. Yang's list was banaba. Banaba is a tree native to tropical Southeast Asia. Its leaves have been used to treat diabetes in folk medicine for centuries. In addition to their anti-diabetic properties, banaba leaves offer health benefits such as antioxidant, cholesterol lowering, and anti-obesity effects. It's so rare that during a wet season, it sometimes trades for upwards of $2,000 per gram. But although it's expensive, the benefits are huge. A study published by the European Medical Council shows that banaba massively reduces obesogens in the bloodstream as well. Can you imagine the results of combining Gymnema sylvestre and banaba together? But that's not all, because next on the list was guggul gum resin, that the University of Health in Oxford found reverses damage from obesogens too. Along with its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, guggul has also been used to promote weight loss, treat hypothyroidism, and manage cholesterol and blood sugar levels. One study also found it improved skin complexion, leaving users with a youthful, radiant glow and reduced acne. Next, white mulberry, notable for its long leaves, petalless flowers, and small berries that Korean scientists have found, yes, you've guessed it, reduce obesogen levels in the body too. It's even been reported in studies to block cancer cell growth and lower your blood sugar and cholesterol levels, and was recently featured on Dr. Oz as a natural diabetes remedy. Finally, yarrow, used by ancient Greeks as a powerful wound healer and antioxidant that can rapidly destroy fat-causing obesogens. It's also fantastic for digestive issues, reducing bloating, and has even been shown to alleviate depression and anxiety. Studies show that taking yarrow daily resulted in up to 10 pounds of weight loss in just 2 weeks, and even helped with brain disorders such as Alzheimer's. I was so excited, I wanted to get started with this powerful, life-changing recipe straight away. I felt like I'd struck gold. But there was only one problem. I didn't know where to source the high-quality tropical herbs, and more importantly, test them to make sure they were 100% pure for maximum potency. I spent many weeks and searched high and low, but in the end, I had to admit, it was too much for me alone. I needed a team. I remember Dr. Yang had mentioned an anti-aging and herb endocrine specialist he'd worked with in the past, Professor Pitt. So, I called and explained everything. He listened intently as I told him about Dr. Yang's research and what I had found out for myself too. Ken, he said, that's amazing. I can help you for sure. In fact, I have a full team of the best doctors and health experts under my supervision that can assist too. Your research is 100% correct, he said. Not all people are fat. Everyone knows that one annoyingly slim friend or family member that can eat whatever they want and never gain an ounce. Yet when you so much as look at a piece of food, you gain 5 pounds. In fact, there is no secret. These studies prove that some people have had more exposure to microplastics than others, and thus higher levels of obesogens in their body, causing rapid weight gain. And by 35, with so much plastic pollution, pretty much all adults have built up dangerous levels. Remember when you were younger and could eat whatever you wanted without gaining a pound? As you got older, that all changed? That's why. Higher obesogen levels are also linked to many deadly health conditions like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and even cancer, killing millions every year. I want to check Carly's obesogen levels, said the professor, just to verify what we have found. And a few days later, we received the results. Your obesogen levels are extremely high, said Pitt. In fact, your endocrine system has been completely disrupted by the microplastic pollution. It's no wonder you haven't been able to lose any weight no matter what you have tried. But I'm 100% sure we can fix this after seeing Dr. Yang's recipe and the peer-reviewed studies by top universities, he said. Over the next few weeks, Professor Pitt and his team sourced every ingredient on the list, tested and verified with third-party labs to be safe and of the highest purity. The team even suggested a few more safe natural ingredients that would work in synergy for an even more potent boost. First recommended by Chief Medical Officer Professor Lim from Singapore was Momordica carrantia, also known as bitter melon. Although nothing like normal melon, as it contains powerful antioxidant compounds that can help protect your cells against damage. One study from the Institute of Medical Health in Australia found that one daily dose of bitter melon can help reduce blood sugar, decrease cholesterol levels, and may even destroy cancer cells. Bitter melon is also full of gallic and chlorogenic acid, which studies from University of Ottawa and the World Health Organization show decreases obesogens and fights obesity. The second recommended by Pitt was vanadium, a mineral named for the Norse goddess of beauty, Venatus. Researchers from the Geneva Institute of Medicine in Switzerland found that just 0.1 milligram per day could flush out dangerous cholesterol and support a healthy heart and blood sugar levels. That's why the professor decided to add 0.2 milligrams of vanadium, double the dose for maximum effect. And lastly, number 3, alpha-lipoic acid, a naturally occurring formidable antioxidant recommended by Dr. Yin from Japan. He told the professor about a little-known study from Italy that found alpha-lipoic acid also eliminates deadly obesogens. It also reduces bad cholesterol by an average of 22% and helps treat diabetes. Best of all, it also rejuvenates and repairs old cells. Pretty amazing, right? Vitamin C, E, magnesium, and zinc were also added as catalysts. Professor Pitt and his team spent almost a full year testing, analyzing, and reformulating our obesogen-busting magical superfoods. The results? A super potent combination over 6 times as strong as the original recipe. Taken at the right time of day, this fat-melting mix would hunt down and destroy the obesogens in the body that are keeping you fat, helping to repair and heal the damage that has been caused by decades of microplastic exposure. His team then sourced bulk orders of each ingredient from licensed and trusted suppliers from around the world to secure the very best prices. Finally, he found a state-of-the-art natural health supplement manufacturer to produce it for us. Their lab was both FDA registered and GMP certified, and the supplements they produce are all of the highest purity and potency. I agreed. After all, I was willing to do anything to try to help Carly. And a month and a half later, they contacted me to let me know that it was ready. They had formulated the blend into small, easy-to-swallow capsules, which would make it easier to take. That very night, Carly took her first capsule just before bed. The results? Well, they were more than spectacular. In just 3 days, she had higher energy levels, better mood, and felt an increased zest for life. And by the end of the first week, she'd lost over 10 pounds. She hadn't made a single change to her lifestyle. Didn't do any exercise. Didn't change her diet. She still ate all the delicious foods like pizza and cookies she loved so much. How was this possible? Maybe it was the placebo effect, I rationalized, and she was going to regain the lost weight quickly. Yet, by the end of the second week, she'd dropped another 7 pounds. Every day she would wake up and another 1 to 2 pounds had gone. And in a matter of weeks, she'd go on to lose another incredible 65 pounds of stubborn fat from her face, belly, arms, hips, and thighs, going from looking like this to this. The Carly I knew and loved was back. Every morning she told me how refreshed she felt. The aches and pains were disappearing, and she felt alert and alive. Her face looked younger and more radiant than it had in at least a decade. And the excess belly, arm, legs, and hip fat that had plagued her for so long had gone. Her body looked like it did when she was in her 20s again. And people noticed. She was showered with compliments from friends and family, and instead of wanting to hide away from the world, she felt confident to show off her new slim and toned body. And not only did Carly love the way she looked now, but she loved how I looked too. Because I used the formula on myself to drop 8 inches from my waist and reveal the abs again that I hadn't seen in years, while still enjoying my favorite foods and drinks, revitalizing our lives and bringing the spark back to our marriage that had been missing for so long. We can barely keep our hands off each other now. It's like being high school sweethearts all over again. It all seems so simple now. After years of struggle, failure, and lies from weight loss gurus, just one small capsule before bed has completely changed our lives. The only thing we're worried about now is which figure-hugging clothes we're going to wear each day. At Carly's next checkup, the doctor was astonished at her transformation. In fact, he barely recognized her. "You look amazing," he said. "You've lost over 70 pounds since we last met. That's about 7 dress sizes. But what's even better is you're in perfect health now. Your blood pressure and cholesterol levels are like those of a 20-year-old. And astonishingly, your resting heart rate is only 55. That's similar to a professional athlete's." We were absolutely thrilled and relieved to hear this wonderful news. And after so many years of despair, we both felt our lives were beginning again. I was convinced that this was a miracle. God had blessed us by revealing the most amazing weight loss formula ever. And I wanted to share it with the world. But I wanted proof of it working for others the same way it had worked for Carly and me. So I decided to run a study. I put an ad in our local paper looking for men and women from 18 to 80 who had a significantly high BMI and who had tried to lose weight unsuccessfully in the past. To my surprise, hundreds applied to test out our solution. Each participant was given a 3-month supply and told to take 1 capsule every night before bed. And the results were more incredible than any of us could have ever imagined. The average weight lost in the group was 53 pounds. In fact, all of them had lost at least 30, and 95% lost over 60 pounds. Most experienced increased energy, a reduction in aches and pains, lower stress levels, better mood, and enhanced sex drive and performance. Several of them could even see their abs for the first time ever. The formula had actually worked on everyone, regardless of how much they had to lose, the metabolism, and their previous failed attempts at trying to lose weight. In fact, the best results seem to be for those who struggled the most in the past. What's even better is that when we followed up with them 6 months later, the weight had kept off. Most of the participants described our product as life-changing. They said they felt complete freedom and were able to eat whatever they wanted, when they wanted, without any worries, for the first time ever.
Over the last few years, I started shutting myself in and becoming very withdrawn. I stopped going out anymore, and I even ghosted all my friends and family. But your solution brought me out of the dark hole.
My dress size is down and my confidence is up. Last week, I splashed out and got myself a whole new wardrobe. Clothes that actually fit me, not those hanging baggy ones to hide my curves. Oh, and I keep catching my husband checking me out, and I feel absolutely fantastic.
I felt ashamed of myself for letting it get so bad. At my heaviest, I was over 300 pounds. Being overweight for so long was so physically and emotionally draining, it felt like I was trapped and there was no way out.
I tried so many different diets, but I'm ashamed to say, I found it impossible to stick with them. I almost gave up on myself. I've lost 64 pounds and have never felt better. The weight flew off, and what's more, it is staying off too.
I lost 7 pounds in the very first week. Without any headaches, sickness, or any of the other nasty side effects I experienced from all those diets and pills I tried in the past. And it's so easy to do, all without having to compromise my lifestyle or what I eat. I'm so glad I went for it.
We now had an all-natural, proven treatment for addressing even the worst cases of uncontrollable belly fat. It has worked for Carly, me, and now I knew it worked for everyone else too. That's why we've decided not to delay another day and make our formula available on this site right now. We call it Prototox. It's the most powerful and effective natural detoxifier in the world. And it's the first ever all-natural treatment that targets the actual root cause of excess body fat through obesogens due to toxic exposure. Unlike other dangerous fat burners on the market, Prototox contains no harmful chemicals or stimulants, doesn't require a prescription, and works automatically. In fact, we're so confident that it's going to be a game changer that we put our whole life savings into it. Our highly reputable natural health supplement manufacturer partner produces it for us right here in the US. They are both GMP certified and FDA registered, which guarantees the highest possible levels of purity, potency, and safety. They source the best quality natural ingredients and plant extracts from around the world and manage to formulate them into small and easy to swallow capsules. And we ship them straight to your door. The capsules are non-GMO and don't contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins. Losing fat with Prototox is so easy, just 1 small capsule before bed gives you results more impressive than any diet or exercise regime. In fact, you have never seen anything like this before, or will again, I promise you. And you too can experience these exact same incredible results when you give Prototox a try. Imagine how it's going to feel when your friends are green with envy at your incredible body transformation, begging you for your secret. Imagine never having to endure the pain and frustrations of yo-yo dieting and depriving yourself of your favorite foods ever again. Just imagine it for a second. Shopping for clothes becomes enjoyable as you spend hours on end trying on those figure-hugging outfits. Your friends and family will wonder what in the world you've been doing to achieve such an incredible transformation, marveling how your energy levels have shot up through the roof. Imagine how it will feel when your partner looks at you longingly, showering you with compliments on how hot you look. Just imagine it for a second. Truly let yourself feel what it will be like. How much would that be worth? $10,000? $100,000? $1 million? It is, of course, not something that you can put a price tag on because the results are totally priceless. But trust me, we are not in this to make money. We truly want to help as many people as possible, God willing. But for this formula to work, the ingredients need to be of the highest quality. So, to keep the price low and to be able to cover our costs, as well as getting this message out to as many people and as quickly as possible, I'm willing to let you have it today at the absolute lowest price I can. So you're not going to need to pay anything like $10,000. You won't even have to pay the $600 that a business consultant suggested was fair, or even half that. The amount we charge for a 1-month supply of Prototox is just $297. But instead of you paying that amount today, I'm going to do something that's somewhat risky. You see, although $297 is more than a fair price, especially when you consider that many have told us that without all those cravings, they are saving more than that alone in food costs every month. But I know the fear, pain, and helplessness of watching your loved ones gain pound after pound and not being able to do anything to help. And that's something I don't want others to experience. The last thing I want is for anyone else to needlessly suffer like Carly did for so long, just for the reason of not being able to afford this simple solution. So I'm not going to ask you for $297. I'm not even going to ask you for half that. Today, I'm going to give you a full 30-day supply of Prototox for a simple one-time fee of only $59. Yep, that's right, just $59. That's more than 80% off. It's the lowest price you're ever going to see. But before you secure your supply, I need to make something very clear. To see the best health-changing benefits and maximum weight loss results, you're going to want to take Prototox for at least 90 days straight. That's because after so many years of your body being overloaded with obesogens, it will need enough time to properly detoxify. So to guarantee you results and save you even more money, I'm going to let you order a 3-month supply today at an even bigger discount to the already amazing low price. And if you're smart and take me up on this deal, I'm also going to give you these incredible bonus ebooks with a combined worth of $129 absolutely free. Bonus number 1, the anti-aging formula. Kickstart your Prototox journey and reverse the aging process with our actionable blueprint for youthful skin, mind, and body. With 15 extraordinary anti-aging smoothie recipes using everyday ingredients from your kitchen. Plus, discover the must-have skincare product some call the elixir of youth, that has been scientifically proven to reduce wrinkles, improves complexion, and reverse the signs of aging in a matter of days. An odd but highly effective alcohol antioxidant trick. A special tea that helps reverse DNA damage from the sun and combats several signs of aging. And the number one thing you must avoid like the plague if you want to regain your youthful looks. And a whole lot more. Next, bonus number 2, supernatural confidence. With your new body comes a new mentality. In this book, we reveal a simple 10-second technique to give you complete confidence even in a room full of strangers. One simple trick that you can do right now to feel at ease in business, romance, or any other area of your life. Plus, an easy-to-learn daily technique to fill your mind with positive thoughts and feelings and remove any self-doubt and negativity instantly. Even a way to enhance your performance and take your life to a whole new level. All that and more. I promise you're going to love these incredible free bonuses. And what's more, if you decide to order 6 bottles today, you're not only going to get the bonuses, I'm also going to drop the price even further for you and throw in free shipping for good measures. How does that sound? That's how confident I am about how Prototox is going to totally transform your life. Check below this video right now to see if Prototox is still in stock. If it is, you'll see 3 incredible money-saving options. Just select your package and proceed to our 256-bit, 100% secure order page that looks exactly like this. And once you've ordered, we'll get your package sent directly to your door right away. And don't worry, this is a one-time only payment with no subscriptions or hidden charges. I dislike those things as much as you do. But to avoid disappointment, you're going to need to act fast. Prototox is available on this page only. You can't find it anywhere else. We decided not to use any resellers, so you can get it at the best possible price directly from us. We're not on any other sites like Amazon, eBay, or Walmart. So please, don't fall for any cheap copycats that might be out there. But be warned, demand is looking like it could start to outpace supply. The high-quality ingredients are not easy to source, so stock could run out with very little notice. And when it does, it could be 6 months or even longer before we're able to secure more. I would hate for that to happen to you, because once you finally start to shed that unwanted body fat and reveal the toned figure that lies underneath, the last thing you want to see when you come back to this site is an out-of-stock message. I promise, it's not a risk worth taking. That's why 94% of customers order the 6-bottle package, so they can start shedding unwanted fat right away and keep it off forever. So, make sure you secure enough today for yourself and your friends and family so you don't have that worry. I hate to say it, but time is ticking. While you are still on this page, your bottles are locked in, but if you leave to come back at a later date, there's a very big possibility that we'll be sold out, or even worse, somehow shut down by the big pharma companies. I get if you might be a little skeptical. I completely understand. I was too at first. After all, we've been lied to and manipulated our entire lives into believing that diet and exercise are the only paths to losing weight. Because, of course, the billion-dollar weight loss industry will never tell you that there's a quick, easy, and natural way to burn belly fat and curb hunger. So here's what I'm going to do for you. To prove how confident I am that this formula will work for you, and so you have absolutely no risk, I'm prepared to back your order with an ironclad 180-day total satisfaction guarantee that works like this. For 6 whole months, you get to take Prototox out on a risk-free test drive. And if you are not completely thrilled with your results, just let me know, and I'll give you every cent of your money back. No questions asked, even if the bottle is completely empty. I'll even let you keep the 2 free ebooks worth $129 as a big thank you for giving Prototox a try. Who else has the confidence to make such a bold promise like that? But I'm willing to put it on the line because I know you're going to finally be able to reach that slim figure you've always dreamt about. In fact, if Prototox didn't work for you, I wouldn't want to keep your money anyway. You see, there is zero risk for you. Just let me know if you're not fully satisfied, and I will insist on refunding you. Doesn't that sound fair? So choose your package below right now and take back control of your life. Today is the start of a new you. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Choose your money-saving discounted package below right now.
Prototox worked for me from day one. Just a small capsule before bed, that's it. So easy. Unlike those other diets where I feel hungry all the time and I'm constantly thinking about food, I'm actually never hungry and I still drop the pounds. I'd recommend anyone who is struggling with weight loss to try Prototox. It was a godsend for me.
If you'd have told me how much could change in 5 short months, I never would have believed you. I thank the Lord every single day for bringing Prototox into my life.
I thought I had seen and tried everything, but after hearing about Prototox, I knew I had to give it a go. The results are amazing. It is like nothing I've ever experienced before.
I advise everyone I meet to give Prototox a try. You won't regret it.
It's time to take action now for your figure and health. To take back control and start living the right way. With the self-confidence you may have not experienced in years. You might not realize it, but right now you're standing at an important crossroads. You can choose to go down 2 very different pathways. One that leads to a lifetime of energy and passion where you'll love your new body and turn heads wherever you go, feeling proud when you look in the mirror. And where you no longer suffer complicated diets, rigorous exercise programs, or unnecessary health complications. The other, you can continue down the same old path you've always been on. So, listen closely to your options so that you can make the choice that's right for you. Option number 1, you ignore everything you've been told today. You ignore the scientific studies proving that this works and choose to do exactly what the mainstream health industry wants. Keep on dieting, exercising, and perhaps losing a bit of weight just to regain the lost pounds shortly after. If you go for this option, keep in mind that you'll never be able to just eat what you want. And you'll most probably never break free from the cycle of yo-yo dieting and endless amounts of frustration and self-doubt. That's the way the weight loss industry is set up. They don't want you to reach your goals because, that way, you'll keep spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars on their expensive products. I bet you already know the outcome of taking this option because you've experienced it many times before. That feeling of hopelessness, of being trapped in a body you hate, of feeling guilty because you're not grinding away hour upon hour every week in the gym. Wondering why it's so hard for you to obtain and, most importantly, maintain that slim and sexy figure. That feeling of getting heavier and more exhausted week after week, and wondering why you've lost that youthful body and zest for life. I know you don't want that. The average American spends $124,500 over our lifetime in an attempt to lose weight. And that's just the financial cost. The terrible impact on confidence, energy levels, health, and relationships is even worse. So would you truly want to take such a risk just to save a few dollars? Because the truth is, if you've made it this far through my message, I know you're sick of being a prisoner to your unwanted stomach and body fat, of pretending you're okay with how you are right now, even though you know that you're not. Yearning for that slender-toned figure of your youth. And the reality is that it may even get worse. If you don't take action right now, your arms and legs could expand even more, until you can't wear your favorite clothes any longer. Nobody has the right to judge someone else, but the reality is that's the world we live in. Comments like, "Wow, you've really let yourself go," and snide remarks about your weight cut deep. It can suck the soul from you as quickly as the weight has piled on. I know. I've experienced it myself, and I saw how it affected Carly so badly, which is why I urge you to take a second and seriously consider choosing option number 2. Because let's face it, this is the only real option you have. All you have to do is invest a one-time payment in Prototox today and put our formula to a risk-free test for 6 whole months. Just imagine what you'll look like in just a few weeks from now. You'll be standing in front of the mirror with a tape measure in your hands and a smile on your face that won't disappear. Your stomach, arms, and hips so lean, you'll think it's not your body. You'll have to pinch yourself to prove it's really you. Imagine how good that will feel. No more shame or guilt over another failed exercise or diet plan. No more worrying about following bland and boring diets or waving your favorite foods goodbye. No more low energy levels that zap you of your zest for life and hurt your relationships with the people that you care about the most. No more feeling disgusted about what your partner thinks of you or of your expanded midsection when you look in the mirror. And no more counting calories or trying useless fads. You've already gone through almost this entire message, so it's clear you're serious about getting into the best shape and health of your life. But the decision is yours. Now, we're being totally honest and open with each other, so I don't want you to miss out. If you want to opt for the smart decision, click a package below to place your order. Once again, the shipping today is totally free for orders of 6 bottles or more. And you won't be enrolled in an automatic billing subscription or anything similar. Remember, you're covered by our ironclad 180-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not totally thrilled with your new slim and sexy figure, simply let us know for a full refund. That's why there is no risk here, and there is no way you can go wrong. So if you want to get that slim and slender figure that catches eyes wherever you go, that turns your friends green with envy, then I urge you to select your package below and enter your details on our secure checkout page right now before supplies run out. Remember, you're going to want to take Prototox for at least 90 days straight for long-lasting results. Every 3 bottles of Prototox comes with 2 bonus books worth $129 completely free. Better still, grab a one-time only massive discount and take our 6-bottle package, which also comes with our free bonus books worth $129, as well as free shipping. And don't forget, your order is backed with our full 180-day satisfaction guarantee. So go ahead and experience these amazing results for yourself. Don't delay. Click below to claim your package now. I can't wait to hear your success story. Hey, still here? You probably have some questions. That's totally understandable. I want you to be 100% confident in your decision ordering Prototox today. These are some of the most common questions we are asked. Question 1, will Prototox work for me? Prototox contains ingredients that are proven to work, regardless of whether you're 20, 40, or 80, and no matter your sex, weight, or background. So yes, I'm 100% sure this is going to work for you. That's why I'm letting you try this breakthrough formula completely risk-free. It's simple. If within 6 months you're not totally thrilled with your results, let me know. and you'll receive every invested penny back, even if the bottle's empty. That's why it's a no-brainer. You simply have nothing to lose, except for your unwanted body fat. Question 2. How does Prototox work? Prototox is the only product to tackle the root cause of modern-day toxic pollution, with a unique blend of powerful natural antioxidants. Unlike fad diets and insane exercise plans, Prototox gets to the root cause of your weight loss problem, rather than just treating the symptoms. Question 3. What do the Prototox capsules contain? Each capsule contains a unique formulation of natural plants, herbs, and spices that help your system detoxify from the years of toxic obesogenic chemical exposure that has wreaked havoc on your body. Question 4. How can something so powerful be safe? What are the side effects? Prototox is an all-natural formula manufactured here in the United States under medical-grade conditions and state-of-the-art precision machinery. Each ingredient is completely natural, soy-free, dairy-free, and non-GMO, and undergoes third-party tests to ensure purity levels. We've not experienced a single significant side effect after having had tens of thousands of people using it. In other words, you can rest assured that what you're getting is completely safe. Question 5. What if Prototox doesn't work for me? If you're skeptical, I understand. I was too. But I am 100% confident that Prototox will work for you, the same way it's already worked for 57,312 others so far. Still, I know that the only way you're going to be totally convinced is by trying this amazing formula and experiencing the incredible transformation for yourself. So just try Prototox out. And if you're not totally thrilled with the results, simply email me and I'll arrange your refund. No questions asked. Question 6, how many bottles should I order? Our research shows that you should take Prototox for a minimum of 90 days straight for optimal results. This gives it enough time to work through and cleanse your entire body of all those toxins that have been building up for so long. But remember, it could run out at any time. So please do the smart thing and stock up now before the price goes up, or worse, we run out completely. Question 7, when should I take Prototox? Just take one easy-to-swallow capsule before bed with a glass of water. Prototox is most effective while you sleep, as it works in synergy with your restful state to repair your body and burn fat. Question 8, when I order Prototox today, is this a one-time payment? Yes. Don't worry, this is a one-time payment only with no subscriptions or hidden charges. Question 9, how fast will my Prototox ship? Orders are shipped the next working day, and for US customers, your order should reach you in a few days. If you are from outside of the US, it should be with you in a week or two. Finally, question 10. Okay, I'm in. What do I do next? Okay, now for the fun part. Choose one of your money-saving packages below and enter your details on our 256-bit secure order page. Order 3 bottles and you'll also get the bonus ebooks. Or order 6 bottles and get the free bonuses plus free shipping. And don't forget, all orders are covered by our 180-day, 100% full money-back guarantee. So there's no risk to you at all. But please, I urge you to act fast. Demand is looking like it could start to outpace supply, and the high-quality ingredients are not easy to source. That could mean costs could shoot up at a moment's notice, or stock could run dry overnight. I would hate for that to happen to you. So just go ahead and click a button below, complete the checkout, and secure your supply right now before it's too late.